glad we got together. I'm glad we got the everything. I remember seeing you. I was looking on your Twitter page.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Impressive, impressive, impressive. Now, there's been a conversation going on Twitter, right? So I'm gonna get your opinion on it, and it's about posting nudes or provocative content versus don't post that. Period.
Hmm.
And clearly on your, we know which side of the fence you're on, but
Yeah.
but to you, when you hear, what do you think of that conversation?
Do you mean as far as like the porn world or just like in general?
It's like this. Do you think? Okay, put it this way. Do you think less is more?
I think it depends on who's looking and who your subscribers are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say there because I've seen like both sides of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a lot of friends that have been doing this longer than us, and they post everything nude. I think it's just whatever crowd you're trying to get to come to your side of the fence. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because there are some like kinks where guys don't feel like, or the men don't feel like they want to see, they can see nudity, and they'll shy away from your page
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Like, some of the cucks and, you know, several other kinks. But
Mm-hmm.
my subscribers personally want me to be nude, and I want to be nude. Like
she,
I'm more
she said
comfortable.
they want to see titties and ass, and she don't mind
Yes,
showing it. Yeah, for
yes,
the most part. Yeah.
yes. I mean, I try not to give too much
Mhm.
away, like on my Twitter, because then there's nothing to see when you go to my OnlyFans page. But
See, to me, I'm old school. It's about the packaging. See,
mhm,
I think people don't understand that. Because one, content creator, what have you, if your content is stuffing a dick in your mouth and your pussy, you do porn. There you go. It's just whether you're a porn star or you're a novice that enjoys the money of doing what you're doing, selling your shit.
yeah,
So it's whatever line you follow. To me, it's all porn to me. But um, it's about how you package it. Like when I look down yours, it shows the lifestyle. You feel what I'm
hmm,
coming from? It's kind of like, it's like watching a voyeurism of a swingers weekend.
hmm, yeah, yeah,
Period. So it's kind of like, but still, it's not just the package of of the scenes. It's the quality of it,
hmm,
the look of it.
hmm,
Period. So it's kind of like it to a certain extent. I'm pretty sure you could agree. You shoot professionally. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have professional look for your shit.
yeah.
Period. So versus they in the bedroom, you can see, the baby.
The baby's crib in the background.
The floor ain't even been vacuumed.
No,
It's
we're not about that life.
you just fold up the laundry. You just had to get on the webcam real quick.
Yeah. No, see, like, I have to say, Xavier is a perfectionist. So, and we have like, we've kind of, I don't want to say we've judged anybody because we're not really judging people, but we have seen people where just they have crap in the background. And I'm like, I don't want to be that person. If that's what you want to do, that's okay.
Mhm.
That's, everybody has their own thing. But for like me, I don't want dirty laundry in the background while I'm doing something. So he always makes sure that everything's set
Mhm.
up to a T. We want to make
See,
sure,
I'm gonna tell you what it is. We think of the porn that we grew up with.
right?
If you
Run
want to
your,
be honest, let's keep it real. It's kind of like, because I don't know your age or what have you, and we're not going to guess, and I'd probably be dead wrong if I did. Um, the
hi.
point being is, I'm pretty sure that you came from like the same yoke of, Cinemax After Dark, when Stevie D's was king, and and porn was porn.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it was important because with your stuff, it tells a story because it shows having fun, and this is my life. This is my lifestyle. So you're actually doing reality porn, wherever motherfuckers want to call. You feel me?
Yeah, and I agree with that. And that's my style of shooting. Like somebody else may have a different style of shooting, but that I wouldn't be able to do it because I like to see when I'm watching. I can't say that I'm everybody's cup of tea, which I'm fine with, but
Mm-hmm.
I always want I want to be into the person that I'm fucking. I don't want to be I don't want it to be a business transaction. If it's not, I have
Mm-hmm.
a regular job. So I
Mm-hmm.
want this to be fun, and if it's not fun, then I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know, so
yeah.
like we've been swingers forever, so why not throw some porn into it? We're
And
already
I've
doing
seen
it.
your
We're just doing
videos.
porn off
I
camera.
think everyone that has worked with you, that has felt your mouth on their dick, has enjoyed every fucking moment of it, from what I've seen.
I hope so. I hope so.
So with that being said, good night. Hang on. Well, anyway, welcome to the Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the perfect app for anyone trying to start their own podcast career. I'm your host, Kavanaugh, the Southern Champ, aka the Porn Rap Star. You know what it is. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. I got 4 wonderful sponsors to tell you about. The first one being the Facebook and LS community, lsworld.com. Next up, the hottest adult mag on the web, eroticismmagazine.com. And next up, we talking about Excite Bunny. Hold on, I'm trying to get my head together because I hear myself at the same time. See, people, that's the beauty of podcasting and the beauty of when you be recording this shit. That's what I was saying. Um, like I said, excitemoney.com for your content creators, 90% profit you take home. And be consumers, a new place for you to consume your Triple X content. And last but not least, award-winning, nominated. I'm talking about the one, the only Blush Erotica. We're talking about smut with sexy voiceover. While you enjoying that, the hottest porn stars in the business doing some nice, sensual, sexual shit, you get a little bit of that sensual wording to go with it. Feel what I'm saying? So go to blusherotica.com and subscribe today. And they even got a virtual reality side. So yeah, they're new age as it get. Also, proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. So go over to shopgwdistrict.com and buy from 500 black-owned retailing shops and boutiques. Also, 5 days a week, you can find me on fullyswapradio.com in the mornings. Also, check me out on skyhawkafterdarktv.com as well as the BGPLLG app. Now, I'm going to shut up and let this sexy, gorgeous, freaky, swinging, and I am going from, I'm a new fan, and man, me wish I could come out of retirement. Just I'm gonna let this sexy lady introduce herself. Go ahead.
Well, I am Poison Ginger, aka Mrs. Mocha. Poison Ginger for my OnlyFans people, and Mrs. Mocha for our podcast people
Oh my God.
slash swingers.
So people, I have another pod mommy. Ain't that a motherfucker? I just run into my pod mommies. And I call ladies pod mommies. I got it from Mandy B. And these are ladies who does podcasting, you know. And I love the fact that more podcasts are popping up talking about sexuality, talking about swinging, talking about adult film and stuff of that nature, you know. So before I even get to the sexy part, let's get away, let's go to the unsexy part. What got you into podcasting?
Honestly, we've been talking about podcasting for a while before pandemic started, but we just didn't really have the time, and pandemic gave us time. So we actually started out on our phones in our basement, hidden in our room, because all of our kids were home. And then we ended up probably like 6 months in going, we got our own equipment and started really like getting into it. So, but we did meet a lot of like new swinger couples that really didn't know about lifestyle, and we were always giving advice to people and this, that, and the other. So we just decided we might as well talk about it on a podcast because we were had 50 million phone calls a week about that stuff anyway. So we just started talking about swinger lingo and, you know, different things that people don't know.
Yeah, because even with like this podcast, people in porn swing. There's a lot of swingers in porn,
Mm-hmm.
and we discuss all of that, even to how they pick male talent, work well with male talent, or what have you, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, swingers are actually the best porn stars.
I
And technically, cause you used to being watched anyway.
correct, correct, and I think like I want to say for me personally, because I don't like to speak for everybody else, but for I guess Xavier and I personally, we do better with other swinger couples because we started out in the content world and we were new, so we didn't know anything about it, but we didn't realize that everyone wasn't a swinger or at least in an open relationship. So we can't say that there was any drama from that. It's just a different vibe. And I'm all about a good vibe. I just want us to get along, have a good time, do our thing, and that makes the sex easier and better.
So what started your journey on your content creation side of things? Filming it, putting it on OnlyFans, putting it out there, for people to buy.
I looked at my husband one day and said, we've been fucking, like we had probably 4 or 5,000 videos because when we first started, like he traveled a lot. So I would fuck while he was out of town and I would send him videos. So I probably have 4 or 5,000 videos of me fucking. So I was like, well, if we're already doing this, then why not just like, why don't we just have somebody pay for it? Like, because we thought it was that simple at first. And then we got on and realized, you need forms and this, that, and the other. But I mean, I said, well, if we're already fucking for free, we might as well fuck for money.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what we did. So he was like, well, whatever you want to do. And let me say that my husband is not a cuck, but he likes seeing me get fucked.
Oh no, I'm not mad. I'm the same way with my wife. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Shit. It's nothing beautiful than seeing your wife get fucking pounded. Yeah. It makes me want to pound her afterwards. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, he's the same way. Like I can be like, Daddy, my pussy kind of hurts a little bit. He's like, oh, I'm getting some pussy. Okay. That's fine. He has no mercy on me, but I don't complain about it.
Yeah, now when it's one like that, you get in there, you got to be slow stroke with it. Slow stroke. You can't.
He does not.
You know what I'm saying? But he know what he doing because he's the dick.
He knows I'm wild as fuck, and he knows that if I say that, so like I would say too, like part of our dynamic is that I'm kind of like a bratty sub, just to him. I don't want to say that to everybody else, but I'm kind of a bratty sub. So there are some things that I say and do so that he will fuck me harder.
So shoot. So when y'all started, like I said, the film, because you were talking about the paperwork and stuff like that. That's something I learned earlier in my career. Did y'all reach out to like more professional talent? Have you had professional talent reach out to y'all? Like how do y'all pick the people that you work with on camera?
So we actually got like super lucky and had some just from like lifestyles events because we do host we're not the owners. Okay, let me say that out loud, but we do host this Splash Mocha event. We're the couple. So we had met a lot of people there that were content creators, and we actually stumbled upon Lupe and Micha. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but Lupe actually came in and just started telling us, look, okay, this is how you do it, da 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 da. And then he turned us on to a bunch of other like content creators, big content creators, Subgirl, like Kenzie Fox, like people like that. Like, so I have to say, they have all helped us through our journey. If we have a question, there's so many people in the content world that will help you get through it if you just know a few people.
See, so, it's kind of like y'all found your way and somewhat groomed your way into the industry because the simple fact of that y'all ran into people that was doing what you were doing, because it's like I said before, it's moving from being a swinger to create content is kind of hand in hand, because to a certain extent, there's a lot of swingers that do content. It's a lot more than people realize, yo, for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the only thing that we've kind of vowed that we will not do, because I'm pretty wide open. I'm actually more wide open than my husband is. But the only thing we kind of vowed that I will not do is I won't do mainstream. And that's just because I wouldn't be able to do like okay, let's stop. Okay, we got to start back again. Okay, we're going to I wouldn't be able to do that. I have a hard enough time if I'm fucking and Xavier like taps my arm, like
but see,
it's in the way.
in this day and age, honestly, you don't have to go mainstream. Now you can shoot with the talent that shoots mainstream.
Oh yeah.
You know, period. It's just making the connections with him and doing what you need to do to hook up with him. So
Right.
it's kind of like it evens out in this day and age, really.
Right. Oh yeah, and I agree with that. And we have shot with some people that are in mainstream, more so Xavier than me, because I actually didn't really get started until like June of this year.
So Xavier jumped in first, and then you kind of came out.
Right. So and at that point he already kind of knew what to do, so it was way easier for me. I hate to say that because he did all the hard stuff.
I see y'all. Yeah. Y'all do some good work or what have you. So I see that y'all incorporate the swinging lifestyle a lot when it comes into, as we like to say, in the business of brand, because it's kind of like you give them that reality type porn with the swinger lifestyle, a look inside of it. So was that something that was planned, or that just organically would just happen?
I can always say that Xavier is the planner, and we used to do like lifestyle parties at our house first, and then we went from like regular house parties to like BBC parties, more BBC like hot wife stuff, because it was harder for us to find like a 4-way connection at just regular lifestyle parties. I'm not exclusively BBC, but I do like BBC. So it was just easier there, and there are a lot of people that would deter from us because he's BBC and they didn't want their wife seeing him. So we started doing kind of our own hot wife / BBC parties at our house, and that kind of just turned into, okay, well, we could probably turn that into a content party also, because we went to a few shoot houses this summer and realized that we have a house that we can kind of do that in, and it will help the Atlanta people also, because when we first started, all of our content creators that we knew were all in Florida. So we were traveling to Florida back and forth, and finally started meeting people in Atlanta. And now we just have people come here for the ladies' content parties.
So, and I will say, y'all have a lineup for your ass. I said, look at the picture, I be like, he was kid the candy store that day. I be just jumping from one to one. The next I be having a ball at one of them jumps. So it's kind of like, so now when it comes to the filming versus the playing, because with a swing event, of course it's gonna have filming with it, but it's, how can I put this? Okay, put it this way. When y'all do y'all content event that involves swingers, do y'all separate swinging from the content?
No.
It's what I mean by thought process. And what I mean by thought process is this. Swinging, we having fun, we good. Content, I got to work the camera. I got to make sure to look at the camera and the camera in my face. You feel what I'm coming from? Did y'all separate? Like, y'all let them know, look, this here, we about to film this. Now, after we film this, we gonna play after that. You get what I'm coming from?
No, it's all, usually what happens is Xavier and a few other people that come to the parties will set up cameras in random places of the house. And we do have a few videographers that actually come to the parties also, and they'll just follow, they don't play, but they capture everything else on camera. So while people are playing, then it's usually filmed, and everybody knows that. So I can't say that we separate it. I mean, there are people that will kind of set up scenes, their own stuff that they'll do in separate rooms and have somebody else film that. But like all the group stuff is usually organic. We just happen to have a camera there and a person to film it. And I can't say that there's very many scenes that are even, what do you call it, that are acted out. Everything that I do, I can tell you, is completely natural. That's what I would do if I was riding your dick right now. That's just who I am. So
she just made me blush. Cause I like my dick rolled. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I like my dick rolled. I can slap that ass like, you're working, mommy, working, mommy, working. You look like you can work it too. I ain't no front.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen the video. I've seen the video.
Yeah. I'm a little more reserved unless I'm not. I couldn't say that I'm reserved. I'm like super sarcastic and I think I'm funny, but that when I'm like fucking, I'm like into what's happening. I mean, and I say all kinds of crazy shit, and I never know what's gonna come out of my own mouth whenever I got a dick in me. It's just a different person. Like she's a different.
No, them the best scenes. Them the best scenes. Actually, if you want to be honest, I love a girl that says some crazy ass shit when she get dick down. Like, I'm doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm definitely a shit talker, and actually, like I used to not be a shit talker, and then, of course, Xavier brought me over to the dark side, and I haven't shut up since. So.
Don't blame it on Xavier. It was in there. He just released it.
He did. You are right, because she was always there.
He just released it.
Yeah, he just told me that it was okay to release her because, for a while I was a closet freak, and then I met him, and he was like, "Just be an open freak." So here I am.
So now, we know that you do like I said, the orgy, the swing, one-on-ones, of course. What's some of the things that you want to do to expand your repertoire? All right, and there's two ways I think ladies expand their repertoire. One, when it comes to their services. And what I mean by that is webcam, custom videos, selling of panties, dick rape, stuff like that. The other part of it is on the film side of it. Whether they down to do anal, gangbang, you know what I'm saying? Stuff of that nature, this, that, and the third. So, because the beauty of being a woman in porn is that y'all have so many ways of making fucking money that dudes just don't have.
Well, I'm on, okay, so right now I'm on OnlyFans, I'm on MiniVids, I'm on Clips for Sale, and I want clips. And MiniVids, I do sell panties, I sell shoes, I have guys that ask me about sweaty clothes, whatever. I sell anything anybody asks me for. And I have that stuff on my store on MiniVids, because on OnlyFans, there's not really a way to do stores. As far as like scenes go, I pretty much have done gangbangs, DPs, DVPs, orgies, you name it, I got it on there. I just, this year, I really want a transgender. Like, that's been on my list of to-dos for a while.
Yes, it comes.
It's just,
yes,
it's hard to, like, the few transgenders that I have talked to are, like, from Brazil or somewhere.
Holler at Cassie Cummings and Sydney Screams.
Okay.
In Vegas. Holler at them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, to me, it's like, put it this way. I like the fact that you're versatile, period. Because it's like, one, you say you did the DP, the game. I like her. Damn, but something. See, interviews like this makes me hate that I retired.
See, I like my favorite thing, like lifestyle before content, was gangbangs. Like I always tell Xavier when we first were together, he said, "What is your fantasy?" I was like, "I've always wanted a gangbang," and he thought I was full of shit until he brought me a gangbang, and he knew that I was not full of shit.
Okay, like, first of all, I must commend Xavier because you pulled off a gangbang. That is one of the hardest thing to pull off. Period. A gangbang.
Why do you say that?
Well, because a lot of dudes don't want to fuck in the same room. You got dudes they're scared to touch dicks. So you.
Well, okay, so finding the right group of guys. So I had one gang. My first gangbang was at Trapeze, and that one was kind of a fail because there were 6 guys and maybe 3 of them that were hard. But then my second gangbang, yes, we realized that like not everybody is okay unless they know the person that they're in the room with. So we kind of found some guys that were friends and comfortable with each other, and they were fine. So I fucked 10 guys, I fucked 18 guys, I fucked 6 guys, I fucked 2 guys. I've done it just depends on the day.
So are you into BDSM?
So Xavier, I used to be Xavier's sub. So yes.
Hold on, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Xavier, thank you for allowing me to speak to this lady. Out of respect as a fellow Dom to another Dom. I have to do that anytime when there's a respect thing within the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you can go ahead.
But I can't say I'm still a sub. We kind of like I would only let him do certain things. So yes, I'm into it, but there hasn't been someone else where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let another Dom do that to me because Xavier is a Dom. And
see, that's I had to show that respect. I can't. Oh, yeah. I'm a Dom myself, so how can I not show respect to another Dom?
Yeah. Well, he's outside right now, but I'm sure he'll appreciate that. But I guess I can say I've never wanted to experience that outside of him because I don't have that type of trust with everybody else. Now, if he's in the room and he says, let him tie you up, I'll do it. I trust him. I know he's not going to let anything happen to me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I am. And he's actually blindfolded me. Well, the first time he blindfolded me in the back of the car and put headphones in my ears and let like 4 or 5 guys fuck me while he was driving. Yes. We've done.
I'm proud of my brother. I love you, man. It's beautiful. I'm sorry, I got drunk. That's true Dom shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and the thing is, I would trust him to do any of that stuff. He tied me up and blindfolded me and took me to another guy's house.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna ask you this: have y'all thought about implementing any of that into your filming? Because I ain't even gonna front. That would pop. You get what I'm saying? If y'all was able to duplicate a scene like that, man, that would freaking pop.
Yep.
And plus, there are places that you could find that you might could put it where it ain't gonna be so worried about hashtag issues and shit. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, shit like that, what you just described. I'm like, that's fucking hot. I was just imagining this shit like.
Yep. And yeah, we haven't I don't want to say we haven't done that in a while, but we haven't implemented like I said, I'll always be his sub. We just haven't done like the whole tie-up stuff in a while because we get caught up in other stuff. And that stuff like takes time. And I think a lot of people think you can just jump into being a sub, but you can't. It's a headspace. Like you have to feel safe. There's so many different things that being a sub and being a Dom there are so many different dynamics to it that you have to be in a certain place to be there. And I can't say that we aren't in a good headspace. We're in grind mode, okay, we're going to do these parties, we're going to do that party. So, and that takes a lot of like I think the first few times, and it was not because he hurt me, but the first few times that we did any type of BDSM stuff, I cried. But then, and I think it's just because it's a release of emotions. But then after that, I realized what subspace was, and a lot of people I don't think will ever experience. So I can't say they haven't, but I felt like a new person for like a week. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a fucking manager now after I hit subspace. Like I would wake up the next day, like, what can I do? I'm at the gym for 2 hours. Like I'm ready.
Yeah, because it's the energy exchange. Because I tell anybody the submissive is the most powerful one in the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes more power to submit than it is to dominate.
Right.
So, period. That's why I tell anybody,
Mm-hmm.
real doms don't ask a sub to be their sub. The sub chooses the dom.
Right.
I was always taught that. And it's like the reason why, because the greatest gift that someone can give you is submission.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah. And the ultimate trust is submission.
Yeah.
So, period. Trust me, there was some of my favorite scenes from the BDSM scenes with sub and stuff like that, with bondage, and have fun with that shit.
Yeah. And we did have a lot of fun. We just at one point in time we just ended up having a lot of our own kids here. So it just wasn't conducive to our lifestyle anymore, which was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'll always be a sub and he'll always be my dom because to this day there's certain things he could still look at me and ask me and I'm like, ooh, what? Serious. Okay, let's do this.
So, people, you know what time of the show it is, right? Y'all favorite time of the show. It's when the pussies go dry, the dates go limp. They talk about the business. Now, this part of the show, we get a little bit serious, talk about the business side of it. Now, first conversation gonna be a little bit different because this is the question: how much of this is fun? How much of this is about the money?
50-50.
Okay.
We like to have a good balance when it comes to that. Yes, we're about business and we want to make sure everything's good. But if there's no fun in it, then we've both agreed that we're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. So yes, we're here to make money just like everybody else. But if it's not fun for me, I don't want to do it.
So it's like, because I see that you have a passion. And one thing I say to anybody is, part of the reason why I retired was because I lost the passion of the chase and the passion of being in front of the camera and what have you, period. Because even with you, like, I talk about the key to selling is the woman. The woman sells this. You can't deny this. So every time I see you, I see sex symbol. I see that you look your best, you look the part and be the part. So speak to the fact that you don't mail it in, even though, yes, these are swinger parties, this is an event that we throwing, this is fun, even though we filming it. You still, come to the dance looking sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that for me, that's what it's all about. I can just say this: the paperwork is not fun, but the fucking part is fun. And we also try to keep a good balance of on-camera fucking and off-camera fucking. Mm-hmm. So I still do off-camera fucking. He still does off-camera fucking, and we do a lot of on-camera fucking. We keep that balance so that it's still fun. It's not always fun if you're on camera 24/7. Like that's why a lot of times you don't see a lot of him and I on camera together. Just because sometimes, like by the end of the party, we're like, "Damn, let's just fuck each other and go to bed."
I mean, the whole point is if you're at the party and y'all go to do it, y'all can do each other anytime.
Exactly.
It's a time for the experience, and you looking over there, you see him digging it out. He looking at you like, "Baby,
yeah,
when I get home,
yeah, exactly.
This is you."
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think we've ever been to one of our own parties where we've actually ended up fucking each other. Mm-hmm. during a party because there's too much new dick and too much new pussy around. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah.
okay, where are we going?
So, so it's like, so y'all have always been swingers.
Oh yeah.
You know, from John Street. Even when y'all met, was did y'all meet as swingers, or did we all date? Did y'all became swingers?
I met him. So I was not a swinger. I was a vanilla, crazy vanilla, and he was a swinger. And we kind of just started friends with benefits type thing, and then became like really close friends, and then ended up like being together. But I could say with him, he made it so easy because he had already been a swinger for so long. He knew what to do. He knew the do's, the don'ts. Okay, this is how I'm going to make her comfortable first, and he slipped me right in the door. He was like, so our first experience together was like, he was like, I'm going to bring over one of my girlfriends. All right, brought over his girlfriend. I can say that wasn't like the best thing for me because I realized that day I'm not super into women. I like certain women, but I like the cock a lot more. I'll just put it that way. So then he told me, well, you can fuck my friend. And I was like, your friend? I was so scared because I was vanilla. So I fucked his friend and it was great. And we had like no issues at all. Like,
Because I think at a certain age, women have what I think is a sexual awakening. You know, period. Because even in porn, and because here on my podcast, you understand, we keep it 100, we keep it real, we don't bullshit, sugarcoat nothing, anything.
right.
But you have a lot of women that I talk to in the porn business that they got out of a marriage, got divorced, and they figured out they were some freaks.
Yeah. Yep.
They figured out they were some freaks, and they was so sexually suppressed.
Yep. And that was, I've always been like a freak, but like I said, for years I was a closet freak, and I was married before him. So when I met him, I was going wild. What the week that I met him, I'd already fucked like 7 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And I told myself when I got to his house, I was like, I'm not gonna fuck him. And then I like met him, and then his dick came out, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm gonna fuck him.
Yeah, that's a great indicator right there when the dick comes out.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely had an awakening after my divorce. And then, like I said, he made it so easy because he is not jealous. He's not insecure in any way, shape, or form. Like there was nothing I could do to upset him as far as lifestyle stuff went. Now we have like little arguments here and there, but I think the only arguments in our relationship are about kids and the dog. So that doesn't count. We've never had like lifestyle issues. Go ahead.
So now here's one of the business questions because I ain't get to ask you this question. So of course people are gonna see this interview and we'll see you on the smokers lounge and the premium smoke room. And yes, you'll be back, people. We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But um, there's gonna be cats that gonna hit you up, want to work with you, want to shoot with you.
Mm-hmm.
What do they have to bring to the table in order for you to do content trade with them? Because as you grow in this business, and for what I have seen, and I'm saying this, yeah, there gonna be some heavy hitters that might want to holler at you about shoots. You feel what I'm saying? So, what would they have to bring to the table?
Um, I mean, I like a good dick size.
I love the way they honest, ladies and gentlemen. I love the way they honest. We get honest. Go ahead.
I can tell you, let me tell you what, I'll probably be better off saying what I don't like because more recently, I've seen a lot of guys that aren't trimmed. I can't do a bush. That drives me nuts. Like, we are not Ron Jeremy from the 70s. Please trim your shit. Please. You don't want to see me like super hairy and bushy. So, why would I do that? Besides that,
I had a girl ask me, she was like, look, I need you to shave before we shoot. I said, for real? Yeah. So I shaved out this piece. Baby butter. I mean, but I ain't gonna front. It it's it trimmed and shaved and trimmed is a different look.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's some dudes that they just like there's some women that look like they got buckwheat and leg lock. I mean, I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of like yeah, that's part playing the part too. You got to have your shit look decent down there.
Right. And like I said, I mean, just trim it a little bit, like just, but besides that, like, yes, I do like muscular guys, but I'm also okay with like, I have a wide variety when it comes to guys because there are some guys that I didn't think that I would necessarily like, and then I met them in person, and their personality preceded their physical appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't want to be corny and say it's about a connection. I just want to get along with you. Like, yeah, you can look good and stuff like that, but if we get along, it'll be even better because I want the sex on camera to be just as good, be awesome. And if you have good chemistry to me, like that makes it even better. If it's a job where we're like, okay, I'm going to sit you in this position and move you here and then move your arm over there,
Mm-hmm.
that's not for me. That second.
Yeah, that's why I ain't go Hollywood. I just couldn't do that mechanical shit. I wanted us to control the flow,
Right,
or even if I directed the scene, it was in a sort of way to where they can't tell, but
right,
period.
right.
It's like I said, it's to me, it looks more natural because
Hmm.
that's the reason why they be saying that the sex look fake. It's not that the sex look fake; it's just the way that they shoot it makes it look fake sometimes.
Right, right, right. And like even down to like when I do shoot with somebody, I just know what angles we're going to be in, and we talk about that beforehand and kind of try to stay in that position so you know so it looks good. But the fucking is all real. But as far as like guys go, I don't care if you have 5 Twitter followers or uh,
Mm.
5 subscribe. If you're a good dude and we get along, I'll do it because I know there's like a few people that have said like, oh, people won't shoot with me because I got 1,000 followers on Twitter or I got 500 or whatever. I'm not that way because usually the newer guys are a little more humble than some of the heavy hitters.
True, true.
So, and that's again just my opinion. That's not
Well,
everybody's.
see, I mean, but it's the one reason why I do this podcast also to show the different ways people make money, the different ways they can come about it, the different avenues of this business that people don't really talk about, the real shit,
Mhm.
period. Because um, one, somebody you got to give somebody a shot at some point,
Yeah,
period. And it's also how the person also dudes also got to learn how to come at women.
yeah,
Because how you come at a woman can be the telltale if you actually get to shoot or not,
yeah. I
or
mean,
opportunity to work with them.
I can't do the deep. I know on my page I'm a full on like slutty whore, and I am okay with that. But like just one nice message like, hey, how are you? It makes a world of difference. Like I will not respond to you if you're like, hey, can I use your holes? Oh, don't you want to take this big BBC down your throat? Well, hello, I'm Ginger.
I mean, dude, if you want to talk, you can call on night flirts. I mean, if you want to talk dirty, you can pay per minute and get all the dirty talk you want. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I don't want to sound like snooty or snotty because I'm far from that. But like one nice message will lead to a lot of horror, slutty things for you. It goes a long way. So
Yes, being nice can get your dick extremely wet if you play your cards right, people.
correct, correct.
That's all I have to say. So, oh my goodness. So, I mean, there's a lot we ain't even touch on because yeah, you definitely got to come back because we got to get to the swing side of this. But it's one last thing I'm gonna say since we talking swingers. All right. The one thing because swinging has became cool, period. Used to be taboo as fuck.
Hmm.
Yeah, we all know what people's issues, and we don't need to even rehash on that bullshit that we probably were taught when we was kids
Yep.
about what marriage is, monogamy, and all that bullshit. All right. So to you, what do you think is the clear sign of a relationship that can withstand swinging?
I would say security and communication. If you have good communication and you can even tell that person, like, hey, I didn't like this, because you have to be able to say the good and the bad, especially when you first start swinging. And you also have to be able to want to push boundaries, push your own boundaries, because there'll be some nights where you can. And don't be dramatic. If you're dramatic, be dramatic at home or in your car. When you're done doing something, don't do it out in public. But I would say communication is a big thing, and just being secure in your relationship. Just because he has sex with somebody else, what you think is better than what he does you, that doesn't mean he doesn't love you. That means he likes fucking new pussy. I like fucking new dick, and I might fuck him the new dick differently than I fucked him in a few years, but that's only because it's a new dick. And he may fuck a new pussy better than he's fucked me in a few years because it's a new pussy.
You know something? See, it's the way this conversation can go right now. But all I'm gonna say is this, and we're gonna come back. Can I call you a smoke buddy? Okay, she's gonna be back because she's coming back to the premium smoke room. We get a little bit more in the premium smoke room. We get a little bit more loose, more candid, more uncensored, more predictable. You know, I explain all that. You know, okay, when the time comes, and of course, you'll be back on the Smokers Lounge. You know, the premium smoke room people, $4.99 a month, 7 premium podcasts for you to enjoy. But what I was gonna say was, I think all men want to be in a poly or open situation. They just ain't got the balls to have that conversation with their woman, and they don't know how to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Straight up. And shouts out, hold on. And shouts out to Fairy Sex Mother for that observation. But go ahead.
I agree with that, but I think also women are afraid, just like men are afraid to approach their ladies are afraid to approach men with what fantasies they have in their head. You can't tell me there's not as many women out there watching porn as there are men, because I guarantee you they are. They're just hiding it, because you're not supposed to be slutty or be like a whore or this, that, and the other. But fact of the matter is, the girls are watching on porn are kind of slutty. And that's what you don't want your woman to be, which is ass backwards. So if you can tell her,
what the rest? 9 out of 10, the girl he fucks does way more sexually than she does.
Right. I mean, they read erotic books, they watch erotic movies. That's basically just milder porn than regular porn. So, and they get off on that while they're
because see, I'm gonna tell you what happens is, you don't want your man to get used to not having sex with you.
Right.
And ladies don't even understand that knowledge right there. Mm-hmm. Because when you try to come on to him and he like, I'm sleepy, I gotta go to work. You know he ain't cheating, but you ain't gave him no pussy so damn long that he done got used to not fucking you, to the point that he's cool with not fucking you. We should never be cool with not fucking you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have to say though, in our relationship, I'm probably the more needy one when it comes to like sex. I can't say that he doesn't want me, because he definitely always wants me, but sometimes he tells me he needs a fucking break. But he's like, I just need to go to bed tonight, honey. Can we just do that in the morning? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But no, but I agree with that. You don't want yours. I always told Xavier, like, I always want to feel like we're dating each other. I want we're not going to always want each other like we did when we were dating, because we're here with each other every day. But I don't want you to ever stop doing fucking me or telling me something because we get too comfortable in our relationship. I feel like that's a downhill slide.
Yeah.
Something different. But I mean, that's a different day, different time.
So with that being said, now people, we have came to the end of the show. So with that being said, You sexy lady. Tell everybody where they can spend money on you, where they can see this wonderful, orgy-rific, swingerific lifestyle video journey of hers.
So I'm Poison Ginger on OnlyFans, mini vids, clips for sale, and I want clips. And then I'm also on Twitter.
No doubt. So, people, there you go. And she will be back, like I said, on the Premium Smoke Room as well as the Smokers Lounge. We're gonna talk about that after when I press that record button to stop. And people, you know how we end this thing all the time. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Go get the damn merch. Bonfire.com / the STO, excuse me, slash backslash STO underscore merch underscore store. Go get it. Say goodbye to everybody, sexy.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.